Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. This one's going to be the first episode in a new series I'm starting called First Impressions, or First Game Impressions, I suppose we could call it as well. Because this will be my impressions on video games I'm trying for the first time, my initial thoughts on them, and if it's worth a shot or not. Today, the first episode of my First Game Impressions series will be on none other than Final Fantasy VIII for the PlayStation 1. Or PS1, whichever you prefer. And I just started playing this game today, and I gotta say, it was, I think you need to go into this. I think you need a little bit of background. I think you need to watch some reviews on this game before you even consider picking it up. Because it is an older game. It was made in 1999. It's for PS1, so make sure you have the console, which I'm sure if maybe some of you don't who watch this video, but maybe some of you do. If you do, well, you're lucky. And finding a PS1 isn't that difficult. You can find them in some pawn shops. I found mine at the Goodwill with 3 controllers and all the necessary cables and such for $25 or $20 even. It's not that expensive to find. And Amazon or eBay also works, though I think for consoles, yeah, Amazon. Especially video games. I wouldn't shop for video games on eBay. There's known problems for that, but especially video games. Not as much consoles, but definitely video games. So. Anyways, this is the game, Final Fantasy VIII. In the background, you will see the opening cutscene for this game. And Final Fantasy VIII is a very interesting game. I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, the Spoony one. Maybe some of you know him, more as Spoony. He did like a 9-part video review in 2007. On his site, The Spoon Experiment, and I was watching that. I'm up to about part 5 now. It's a really cool review. I definitely suggest you all check it out. Even if you're not interested in the game, you need to check out that review series. It's amazing. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And he does address a lot of the faults with the game, and there are quite a few faults with the game. But I often like to look at a game, and maybe even an anime, maybe anything entertainment-wise, a book, anything. I like to look at it with an open mind. And address its faults, sure, but also see, is it going to be enjoyable? Can I look past the faults? And with this game, I really can. I mean, so far, I really can look past the faults. There are a few faults with the battle system. It's called the junctioning system. There are a few flaws with it, but it is a fairly good system. In fact, I can't ever say I've encountered a bad system. But except maybe for one that really confuses me is Star Ocean till the end of time. That battle system is kind of confusing to me. I don't know, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing half the time, whereas here I kind of know what I'm doing. In fact, on the first boss battle, I pretty much died. I mean, I actually survived, I actually completed, but only due to the fact that I had a pretty strong power with my extra party member. That's the basics on the battle system. So the battle system is a little wonky, and flimsy in some parts, but overall it's pretty good. As far as visuals, graphics go, it's 1999. It's not going to be great cutting-edge graphics, obviously. So don't go in there expecting that, but it's not bad. You know, it's not bad at all. Obviously, back in 1999, this was pretty cutting-edge graphics, but nowadays we look at, yeah, it's not like that anymore. It's not 1999 anymore, that's for sure. A lot of time has passed since the making of this game and what they had to work with in that time period. But yes, the graphics for the time are pretty good, and I would say if you've played a lot of PS1 games, graphics shouldn't really surprise you by any means. If this is your first PS1 game and you're playing games like, think of games that have really great graphics, things that come to mind, modern games, any modern game, think of a modern game, and yeah, all those modern games, they really focus too heavily on graphics. That's one thing I gotta say that I like about PS1 games. They don't focus on graphics, especially if it's an RPG, they don't focus on graphics. Especially Square Enix, they don't focus on graphics at all. I mean, nowadays maybe they do more, but back then they didn't. And yeah, I mean, the visuals look great. I mean, the cinematics look really good for 1999. I mean not the in-game graphics, but the cinematics are very good. I think there's an hour's worth of cinematics in this game. And yeah, they're really well done too. So yeah, just goes to show they did a good job with the cinematics in this game, definitely. Moving on to the characters. The characters, obviously, it's an RPG, so you choose your own name for your character. I chose a name, I can't remember what it is right now, actually, but I made a name. Maybe I'll put an annotation of what the actual name I put is later on when I'm editing. And then I believe her name is Christus? Kistus? I can't remember her name now. But she's basically your teacher, and she is, she's helping you through the exams and helping you pass, and she's a cool character. She has some pretty cool attacks. The reason I survived that battle I almost died on was because of her power. It was like laser eye or laser spark or something laser. It was a really cool power, and it dealt tons of damage. It was really cool. In fact, something neat about this game is when you're running low on health, special powers come into play. Like normally you just get a simple attack, but if you're low on health, then they start to initiate. There will be a little arrow by your attack command, and you use the D-pad and hit forward with that, and you'll get like a special attack which deals some pretty extra damage, and it's really cool, gotta say. So yeah, that's basically all I can say about the combat and stuff like that. I haven't seen too much else besides that. Well, there are a few things. I could talk about the GF. The GF are basically like companions, and you get 3 of them by the end of the first battle, the first boss battle. You get 3 of them. The person you defeat, he gets to be one of your GFs. And I can't remember what the GF stands for. I can't remember. I don't even know if they said what it stands for. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But anyways, these GFs are like companions, and they're very helpful. I believe later on in the game they learn special abilities. Right now they're not too much help because they are level 1 and they don't know too many abilities and can't use them in combat or anything. But later on as they progress, they learn new abilities and stuff like that, and that's very cool. Each time they level up points into those abilities you want them to learn. So I think that's a very cool little trait there. And yeah, that's all. That's the basic brief of the combat. And the characters. Going back to the characters. Sorry, I jumped a little ahead there myself there. But Cypher, he's one of the. I think he's supposed to be the villain of the game. You don't know too much about him for the first few hours. I haven't gotten to a point where I know him that well. You wake up and Cypher is your partner and he's injured you. That's really all you know about Cypher at the point where I am right now. You don't know too much about Cypher at all. And that's all I can say. The music is amazing, as always. Final Fantasy games just have amazing music. The composer of the Final Fantasy series does an amazing job. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll put an annotation here. I'm talking about saying his name, but yeah, that guy, he does an amazing job with the music. And yeah, that is my first impressions of Final Fantasy VIII. It's not as bad as everyone says. Just go into it with some context, and I think you will greatly enjoy the game. If you like PlayStation 1 RPGs, you'll like it. I mean, if you came from Final Fantasy VII, and you've never played Final Fantasy VIII, first of all, I'd be kind of surprised if you've already played Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1 and haven't played Final Fantasy VIII like 15, 16 some years later. I mean, that'd be a little surprising to me. I'm just getting into these PS1 RPGs. I still don't have Final Fantasy VII, though I really need to. I've heard so much about that game, and I can't wait to play that one. But for now, Final Fantasy VIII will suffice. And it was only $15 in a pawn shop. And it complete with 4 discs. The third disc has like the hinge that holds it in place is kind of torn off. Half of it's torn off, so it kind of slips out of place, like if you shake the case. But it's not that big of a deal. Plus, PS1 games always have the backwards, the black disc, and it makes it less likely to scratch, which is really nice. That's a nice thing I've noticed about PS1 games. Anyways, that's my first impressions of Final Fantasy VIII. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave me some feedback in the comments below what you thought about this, and if you'd like to see me do more videos like this. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for this video. Until next time, take care everybody, and I'll see you in my next video.